What's good, everybody? It's your boy J Main, and today I wanted to bring you my review for Gravity Rush Remastered. Now, Gravity Rush is a single player action adventure game. Now, it has role playing elements in it and platforming elements, but I really wouldn't call it an RPG. Just, a little light on those aspects. But moving on, Gravity Rush basically, if you want to talk about the story, you are this girl named Kat who has lost her memory. She wakes up, she finds this black cat that gives her the ability to control gravity. Now, the city that she's in has been swarmed with these enemies called the Nevi, and alongside the Nevi is like a gravity storm. So she's trying to figure out what's going on, who's responsible for this, and how to defeat the enemies. Now, when I first heard about this game, I wasn't interested in it because of the story. What I was interested in it for was the gameplay mechanics. Like I said, you got these gravity powers, so you're floating around the city, shifting around, controlling gravity, walking on walls, all this crazy stuff. I'm like, this game looks kind of hot. Now, when I first saw it, it was only on Vita. Bluepoint decided, along with Sony probably, to do a remaster. So they remastered the game. Now it runs at 1080p, 60 frames per second. Something I was interested in before, so I was like, I definitely got to jump on it now. They remastered at 60 frames per second. It's going to run really smooth, and it does. I think Bluepoint did a really good job on the remaster. It looks beautiful. It runs smooth. I came across a few cases where I had to deal with frame rate issues and glitching and stuff like that, but overall, the complete package, really good. Talking about the mechanics again, you can fight on the ground. Everything is not all about being in the air, controlling gravity and stuff like that, but your grounded attacks aren't as strong as your attacks in the air. So you have this gravity meter, and when it runs out, you're forced to go back down to the ground. But it's not for a long time. You have this meter that depletes, but it goes back up in seconds, and you can upgrade this meter throughout the game by collecting precious gems along with all your other attacks and special abilities and stuff like that. So if you want, you can put your precious gems into this meter ability and it can replenish really fast. The game has side missions and side quests. The side quests, I believe, were part of the DLC. Now, the DLC comes completed in the package with the remaster. If you had it on the Vita, I think it was like $4 per DLC mission. But these missions include multiple parts. They got costumes and they add more challenge missions to the game. So I think it's a pretty good DLC package that comes with the game. The missions are really unique and they coincide with the areas that you're at in the game and stuff like that. And the costumes you can wear in the side missions, and you can also wear them in the main game when you're done with the side missions. So I thought that was pretty dope. The challenge missions are pretty generic. You got some time trials. You got some defeat X amount of enemies, get X amount of points and stuff like that. What's good about the challenge missions is that you get precious gems for completing them in a certain amount of time or reaching a certain score. So, like, if you want to really upgrade your stuff, like, definitely want to do these challenge missions. They got these gems throughout the city, but each one is worth like one, or the further you get, they're worth a little bit more, maybe 10 or 20. But these side missions, you get like hundreds and hundreds of precious gems that you can put towards your challenge. That you can put towards your power upgrades. So I thought that was pretty dope. It gives you an incentive to play those challenge missions. Even though they aren't all that fun, they're okay at best. It definitely gives you some excitement to get all those gems and upgrade your powers. Talking about the soundtrack. The soundtrack I really liked in this game. Some of the songs reminded me of combinations of other songs that I've heard throughout games before. But overall, I thought they had some really good, unique, new songs and fresh ideas that go with the areas that you're at. Like, each town within the city has its own character, and the songs within the soundtrack fit these cities so well. And they got songs for, certain parts of the game, like if it's a sad part or a happy part. So like when I was done with the game, I went on YouTube and I looked up like the soundtrack and stuff like that. And I was just listening to the soundtrack like all last night after I beat it. Definitely gives the game character and soul. And if you aren't interested in the game and you just want to check out the soundtrack, definitely go on YouTube. You can find like the whole list and stuff like that. Yeah, so like overall the story, like I said before, the story wasn't something I was interested in at first. But like about halfway through the game, it picks up and it basically twists into like this deep story that I really found myself like getting into. After I beat it, I wanted to go online and look up some more about the lore, and I found some really interesting stuff about the characters, some other people's speculation about what's going on and which character is which and who's this and who's that. Like you really find yourself getting interested in figuring out what's going on in this world. I know they're making a sequel for this game. And I hope they address kind of, because it's kind of an issue. Like a lot of times you don't want to have to go online and look up the lore of the story or look up what's going on. You kind of just want to know. Like on the surface, the basic story of defeating the enemies and figuring out what's going on, that's fine. But it's so much deeper than that. And it kind of sucks that you would have to go online and figure that out. Now in the sequel, I know they probably, want to give people a reason to pick up the sequel, and that's fine. But I think they could do a better job with, giving you some more background information about each character that you come across or each character that you can control and stuff like that. Another thing I hope they address in the sequel is the camera. I know the game was built on Vita, but like a lot of times when you're moving around, the camera will get all wacky and it'll zoom in and it looked a little crazy. It got me frustrated a lot of times when I was doing challenges and stuff like that. So I hope now that they're making the sequel mainly on the PS4 that they can address that. I know Bluepoint did the remaster, but I don't think they touched any of the mechanics. I think they just focused on getting it 1080p, 60 frames, upgrading the textures and stuff like that. So yeah, overall, if I had to give this game a score, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty solid. I had my issues with it that I hope they address in the sequel, which is supposed to be coming out later this year. But if we don't hear nothing about it by E3, I'm just going to assume it's going to get delayed. And yeah, so if you're interested in the game, if you beat it before and you're skeptical on getting the remaster, it's a great remaster. You should definitely pick it up. If you haven't played the game before and you're on the fence about it, I suggest you pick it up. I thought it was a pretty good game, and I think, you would like it. So, if you have any questions, leave it down in the comment section that I didn't answer in the review. If you can, rate the video. If you're new here, subscribe, and I'll check y'all out in my next video. Peace.